The Drum of Shadows, Chapter 1. The package. Marcus Weber's life changed the day UPS delivered a package wrapped in brown paper and covered in exotic stamps. His townhouse in suburban Chicago felt smaller somehow as he brought the long, cylindrical package inside, away from the October wind that had turned unusually warm and carried the scent of unfamiliar spices. The tracking number matched the one his sister Sarah had sent 3 weeks ago, along with a cryptic email. Found something amazing. Sending you a piece of history. Handle with care. That was the last he'd heard from her, despite his daily attempts to reach her. The drum emerged from its wrapping like a creature shedding skin. Dark wood, almost black, carved with symbols that seemed to shift when viewed directly. The goatskin stretched across its top was unnaturally pale, and the small bones dangling from leather straps, definitely not all animal. Marcus would later realize, clicked together in rhythms that didn't match the air's movement. Sarah's note was brief, written in her familiar academic scrawl. Found this in a village that's been abandoned for 200 years. The locals wouldn't touch it. Called it the voice of the hungry dead. Thought you'd love it for your world music collection. Don't play it at night. Marcus, a music professor specializing in traditional instruments, should have known better. But the drum called to him, its symbols seeming to dance in his peripheral vision. That night, as Chicago's lights flickered in an unexpected power surge, he placed the drum in the center of his study and let his fingers brush its surface. The Drum of Shadows, Chapter 2. The first beat. The dream came like a fever. Marcus stood in red dirt under a purple sky, watching elderly men in white robes dance around a bonfire that cast shadows in impossible directions. They played his drum. No, not his drum. The drum, but the sound was wrong. It wasn't music. It was the overlay of 1,000 screaming voices compressed into rhythmic heartbeats. He woke to find his sheets soaked in sweat and something darker. His fingers were bleeding, drumming patterns on his nightstand that left crimson symbols matching those on the drum. The clock read 3:33 a.m., though all 3 digital numbers seemed to pulse like living things. Morning brought no relief. His neighbor's cat, Mr. Whiskers, lay dead on his porch, arranged in a perfect circle with its tail forming a spiral. Officer Chun, taking the report, couldn't stop staring at Marcus's hands, still stained with blood despite hours of scrubbing. Funny thing, Chun said, we've had 6 similar cases this week. All pets, all circles. You haven't heard any strange music lately, have you? That night, Marcus dreamed of the elders again. This time they spoke, their words bypassing his ears and appearing directly in his mind. The hunger grows. The circle widens. The dance begins. The Drum of Shadows, Chapter 3. The hunger. Week 2 brought changes. Marcus stopped eating normal food. Everything tasted like dirt and copper. His students at the university noticed his distraction, how he'd stop mid-lecture to stare at empty corners, where shadows seemed deeper than natural law allowed. During his world music seminar, he caught himself teaching rhythms he'd never learned, his hands moving in patterns that made students complain of headaches and nosebleeds. 3 students dropped the class. 2 more stopped coming to school entirely. The dreams intensified. The elders showed him the truth, how the drum was created centuries ago to trap something ancient and ravenous. Each beat was a feeding call, drawing souls to its hollow center like moths to deadly flame. The village hadn't been abandoned. It had been consumed. Marcus tried destroying the drum. Matches wouldn't light within 3 feet of it. His chainsaw died mid-cut, its chain snapping and reforming into a symbol he'd seen in his dreams. The drum remained unmarked, but his tools were found arranged in precise, geometric patterns that made his eyes hurt and his mind scream. Sarah's university email bounced back, account discontinued. Her department head was evasive, mentioning something about a failed expedition and a sealed cave. Marcus found her last journal entry online, uploaded to an academic server. Day 47. Found the drum. Locals warned us. Chains of human hair. Sound in the cave. Not wind. Not animals. Professor Chin went in first. What came out wasn't him anymore. The Drum of Shadows, Chapter 4. The dance. 3 weeks after the package arrived, Marcus's security cameras captured something impossible. The footage showed him sleepwalking at midnight, naked except for symbols painted on his skin in something dark and glistening. He performed a dance he'd seen in his dreams. while shadows with too many angles moved around him like liquid geometry. The audio was worse. His voice overlapped with others, hundreds of others, speaking in a language that made the recording distort. When he played it back, his neighbor's remaining pets began howling in harmony. The drum beat by itself now, a slow, patient rhythm like a predator's heartbeat. Marcus stopped sleeping. In mirrors, his reflection showed someone else's face superimposed over his. An ancient face with eyes like wells into the earth. His skin had begun to darken in patches that formed familiar symbols. Local news reported a spike in missing persons cases. Officer Chen disappeared while investigating a noise complaint near Marcus's home. The security footage from that night showed only shadows dancing to an unheard beat. The Drum of Shadows, Chapter 5. The Voice of the Hungry Dead. Marcus writes this warning from his study, though his hands shake and the words keep trying to become symbols. The drum's rhythm is constant now, a pulse that matches the headaches spreading through his neighborhood. Last night, he caught himself standing over his sleeping neighbor with a kitchen knife, swaying to that ancient beat. He's chained himself to his desk, but the metal feels warm and malleable, like it's responding to the drum's call. His fingers bleed continuously, tapping out patterns that make the air thick and the shadows hungry. The locals had it wrong. The drum isn't just the voice of the hungry dead. It's their recruiter, their dinner bell, their way back into a world that forgot them. Marcus feels the change completing. His skin is more symbol than flesh now, and he understands the patterns. They're a map, showing the drum's next destinations. Sarah sent more packages before she transformed. Dozens of them, scattered across universities and museums worldwide. The drums are awakening. The circles are widening. The dance is spreading. If you receive a package from someone you used to know, someone who visited a certain village or found a certain cave, don't open it. Don't touch what's inside. Don't listen. When it calls your name in voices you know but shouldn't be hearing anymore. The chains are falling away now, though Marcus hasn't touched them. The drum beats louder, and he can hear them coming. The dancers, the shadows, the hungry dead. They move like liquid darkness under his door, bringing with them the smell of red dirt and ancient hunger. Marcus's last human thought is a prayer that someone will find this warning in time. But as his fingers lift to play that first willing beat on the drum's pale surface, he knows it's too late. The dance has begun, and soon, everyone will know its rhythm.